In today's video, I'm going to talk about Uganda. And Museveni is having sleepless night. Museveni is having nightmare because of the youths of Uganda. I know it's very hard to remove Museveni. We know that. It's very, very hard to remove him from power. And I know a lot of people, some people, like 10%, 20% of Ugandans, they love Museveni because they believe without Museveni, there could not be a country there. And which is reality. Museveni took the country from the hands of the goons and built something, same to Rwanda president and same to others.
Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni has ordered the country's police and military to stop mistreating civilians during political campaigns ahead of next week's general elections, calling such practices unacceptable and outdated. Uganda's security forces have long been accused of intimidating opposition supporters and carrying out forced arrests. Our correspondent Frank Yiga has the latest on this story.
Museveni's directive comes in when Amnesty International issued a press release urging the Ugandan authorities to uphold human rights obligations and allow the opposition campaign rallies without undue restrictions and without subjecting their leaders and supporters like Bobi Wine's National Unity Platform to arrests, torture and other ill treatment. The human rights body issued a similar statement following the 2016 presidential elections and condemned the raids, arrests and stifling of political opposition leader Dr. Kizza Besigye. In 2023 and 2025, several government officials faced travel bans by the US and UK, accused of human rights and corruption. Some Ugandan citizens, along with victims and human rights organizations, have reported abuses to the ICC, hoping for action to be taken.
Welcome my people to Neo Africa, where we tell African stories. Now, before I start this video, I want to show you, this is a t-shirt of, it is for Ibrahim Traore, okay? And wherever you see Ibrahim Traore, you see change in Africa. Wherever you see Ibrahim Traore, you see sovereignty, you see liberation, okay? We need to understand that. Now, in today's video, I'm going to talk about Uganda. And Museveni is having sleepless night. Museveni is having nightmare because of the youths of Uganda. I know it's very hard to remove Museveni. We know that. It's very, very hard to remove him from power. And I know a lot of people, some people, like 10%, 20% of Ugandans, they love Museveni because they believe without Museveni, there could not be a country there. And which is reality. Museveni took the country from the hands of the goons and built something, same to Rwanda president and same to others, you know. So sometimes democracy that we yearn for, like removing leaders after every 10 years or after every 5 years, sometimes it's not that perfect. Sometimes we just need leaders who will take a country to one place to another. And when the change comes, when the right time comes for a change, then they'll be there. Just like in the Bible, we had Moses. And Moses took Israelites from one place to another. He did not enter Canaan, but he left his leadership to Joshua, okay, to the youth. Just like Museveni needs to do. Museveni needs to leave power to the youths when the right times come. I don't know if this is the right time, but Ugandan people knows. Now, the reason why I'm saying Museveni is having sleepless nights is because Uganda is now witnessing a generational shift, a very powerful generational shift, as young people are increasingly rally behind Bobi Wine. This is Neo Africa, and we are telling African stories how it is. Maybe my views may not be the way your views is, but regardless of anything, tell me in the comment section. We are not here to anger each other. You know, politics sometimes has a lot of chaos. I may channel my point and maybe you don't like it and we collide. We have conflicts. But here we don't do that. We say it as it is. Come with your views, come with your points, others will come with their points, and we find solutions of what's going on in Africa. Because Africa is ours. Uganda is ours. Kenya is ours. Somali is our country. Now, we need just to come together as the youths of Africa and decide what, you know what, we're going to take over things. Now, Uganda is one of the youngest countries in the world. Over 75% of the population is under the age of 30 years. Not the leaders. People are under 30 years, but the leaders are above 30 years. You see that one? And this is not a small detail. It is a central fact that it is shaping Uganda. It is shaping Uganda political destiny. It is shaping Uganda economic destiny. It is shaping Uganda's the power of functioning, you know. And Museveni's government was built in the era when the youths were politically passive, when the media was tightly controlled, when the dissent could be silenced quietly. And that era is gone. Right now, the people of Uganda have access to information, because social media has changed things. They have access to a lot of things. They are online and globally aware. They understand their constitutional rights. They compare Uganda's progress to Kenya's progress or to other nations' progress. They refuse to accept poverty as destiny. And Museveni is ruling a country he no longer understands. Museveni does not understand how this works. That is reality. Because politics is something else. It's the information, how information is traveling. Some people are just deep down in the village, but they can access internet and they are getting to see the images from the city and they are like, oh, we want this guy. Even if they don't know you personally, they have never seen you. But because of social media, they will make they'll make their own choices. Before politics, Bobi Wine was a culture force. Bobi Wine was a musician and his music spoke directly to ghetto youths. His music spoke directly to the unemployment. His music spoke directly to the voiceless. Unlike traditional politician, Bobi Wine did not speak down to the youths, but he spoke with the youths. He spoke with them. And when he entered politics, he did not abandon music or culture, but he weaponized them. His message is very simple. We are tired of being ruled by fear. And that is reality. Uganda is being ruled by fear. Like lately, they have said they are going to cut the internet down. Okay? And Ugandan youths do not just support Bobi Wine, but they identify with him. They are so close, just like Ibrahim Traore. Bukinabe people, the youth of Bukinabe, they identify with Ibrahim Traore. Okay? So Bobi Wine represents a generational locked out of opportunity, a voice against corruption, a challenge to military intimidation, a leader who has suffered like them. So when Bobi Wine is arrested, when Bobi Wine is beaten, when Bobi Wine is silenced, youths see themselves under attack. Okay? And this emotional connection terrifies the state. They are very, very much terrified. Museveni rulers relied on military loyalty and security crackdown, media suppression, divide and rule politics, you know. But fear has a shelf life. When a generation grows up without jobs, when a generation grows up without land, when a generation grows up without hope, then fear stops working. And that's what we are seeing right now in Uganda. Though, still there's a lot of fear in Uganda, but we are seeing a growth. Something is shifting slowly by slowly, even if it will not shift today. But this election will speak a lot. In one way or the other, maybe Bobi Wine will not become a president, but we will be seeing something different. For example, who knew Tanzanians will protest after election? Who knew that? Because Tanzania had this Ujamaa and we are like, okay, Tanzania are the coolest people in Africa. They can't protest, they are yes, yes. But you know what happened? Just through education, through social media, boom, protests erupted. Okay? Now, allow me to say this. Museveni's strongest fear has always been the military. Or Museveni's strongest weapon, not fear. The strongest weapon of Museveni is the military. Mainly the soldiers. Okay? But even this pillar is cracking. Because right now, we have many soldiers who are young, who are poorly paid, and from the same communities, they may be forming the protest. Okay? Now, the soldiers are being ordered to suppress their own generation. I see these videos. I've seen these videos where Bobi Wine, the media, they're being suppressed. The people, they're being beaten by the soldiers. And history has shown that when armies lose emotional loyalty, regimes collapses fast. Okay? Unlike past opposition movement, this one cannot silence easily because youths use X, youths use TikTok, they use WhatsApp, they use YouTube, and every arrest becomes viral. Every beating becomes evidence. Every lie is a fact checked in real time. And Museveni's government shut down the internet because truth speeds faster than truth spreads faster than bullets. Yes, truth always spread faster than bullet, and that's why Museveni is trying to shut down the internet. Ugandan election has become ritual, not democracy. Youths understand. Votes don't always count. They know that. Votes always don't count, and results are always manipulated. Like right now, we already know the results of Ugandan election before the election day. What does that mean? That means they need to be another way. If they really need a change, it's not by voting. Yes, they will still participate, and they need to still participate in voting. Not because they trust the system, but because participation itself, it is a form of resistance. Low turnout is worse, or low legitimacy is worse than election at all. It's worse than no election at all. You go participate on the election, let the outcome come. But let me tell you, my guys, the number is near. The future is bright for Ugandans. For years, Museveni sold himself as a liberator, stabilizer, a Pan-African strongman, but youths are asking, liberated from what? What are Ugandans liberated from? I'm not saying Museveni is a bad, because if from 10 million people, 5 million love you, then at least there's something you are doing great. But Ugandans themselves, they know why they need that change. I'm not saying you need to vote for Bobi Wine. I'm just saying vote according to what you are seeing on the ground, because you are the one who you are in the ground. Vote accordingly as a youth. What change do you need? Vote for that change. Who is giving that change? Is Museveni doing what you think is the best? If he's doing, yes, give him. Give him. But what are Ugandans liberated from? What are Ugandans stable for? For who? They have Pan-African. For whose benefit? Ugandans youths right now, they are facing massive employment. There's an unemployment, informal labor, rising living cost, no access to capital. They see elites growing rich while they hustle endlessly. And this is not laziness. It is structural exclusion. Political rebellion is inevitable under these conditions. And what I'm seeing right now, one of Museveni's biggest mistake was thinking Bobi Wine is the movement. No, Bobi Wine is not the movement. People's power is the movement. Universities, sluma, village, online spaces. Arresting one man cannot stop millions. Okay? Uganda's youth uprising is being watched globally. From Kenya, we are watching, and we are praying for a better tomorrow. We are praying for a peaceful election. And I will urge this. If Bobi Wine does not become a president, don't riot. Because rioting will just end your life. Let's use intellectual terms and moments to change. Tell me what you think on the comment section. This is New Africa, Uganda. Be blessed.